Hello, my name is Arthell Isom. I'm the director and art director of XOGENASYS, the animated pilot, based off of the American manga from Noir César of the same title. The story is about, or follows, Darius Smith, troubled teen who goes through life just trying to discover himself and take care of his family. And he ends up in hot water doing what he does daily, and he has to kind of deal with it. And then we follow him and we just see how does the world around him deal with these issues and how does he and his family deal with it. I feel kind of connected to this story. The creator, Johnny O'Brien, he came up with this story, the concept of this kid from New York who just lives on the streets and gets in these fights with gang members and things like that. And then that one thing leads to another and he has to enter a tournament. The animated pilot takes place a little bit before the manga. It focuses more on Darius's life story. I grew up in a kind of not so good neighborhood. Shout out to Patterson, New Jersey, and it was kind of grew up like everyone else, and so because of that, I kind of feel close to the main character Darius. You grew up in the streets, and you try to just you go to school and not get in trouble, but trouble sometimes finds you, and so it's kind of a discovery both through the character's eyes and I'm kind of reliving things, and that kind of helped us to bring some kind of naturalness and some kind of realism to this story, because we were both, Johnny and I were able to kind of reflect on our youth, and it was like, oh yeah, remember we were, when we got in a fight, we did this, we ran down the street, and then we kind of put that into the character wherever we could to kind of help people relate with him a little bit more. I think it's very important for people who watch movies and stories and animations in general to always relate to the main character and even the supporting characters. At Day Art, we really focus on character development. So when we were given this project, that was one of the main things that we thought about, was how can we make this character, Darius Smith, and his family relatable to the audience. And then so you don't have to grow up in the ghetto, you don't have to have lived on the streets in New York or anything. We wanted to discover ways that anyone who's watching this animation could say, oh yeah, I remember when I was going to, when I was in high school and I got in trouble, or I remember, and it wasn't even my fault. That's something that I think everyone can relate to. Sometimes trouble just finds you, and then it's like, well, how do you realize that? And I think because of that common issue that most people go through in their life, I think it's really important for children now and even adults to grow up now and see heroes that look like them. Not only Black, but also Latin, Japanese, Asian, Native American. It's really important because when children see these images and these images have positive attributes to them, or positive qualities, and they're not just the stereotypical gangsters or bad guys, then children know that they can be this. Oh, I can grow up to become a police officer. I can grow up to be a person who can change my community. And so I think it's really important for children to see themselves essentially in good roles and doing everything, because that's how humans learn, right? We learn from what we see. There are so many types of stories that can be told in anime, and I think that XOGENASYS being focused on a Black character from New York, it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be something that people have kind of been asking for a while. During Anime Expo, I'm hoping, I'm looking forward to just seeing how people react to this story that's being brought to them by an American-owned manga company, an American-owned Anime Studio. It's like, I think that there's just a lot of excitement in all different areas. So I'm looking forward to that. The anime pilot of XOGENASYS will be premiered at Anime Expo on July 7th at 8 p.m. So definitely show up. We appreciate your support. We need it. Check out XOGENASYS July 7th, Anime Expo.